mean, Clyde's so important to our team. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He makes it difficult to play man-to-man because then you have a linebacker matched up on him, and no linebacker in the country can cover Clyde. And then you go zone, and we can pound it up in the middle. So you got to pick your poison. You're going to play man-to-man, try to defend the pass. We'll get Clyde matched up on a linebacker. You'll play zone. We'll dink and dunk you all the way down the field and then run it in. So he really just enables us to be really versatile on offense.
Welcome to the Scoreboards. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by the Budman Buddy Sanjay here on Tigers Roar. I want to thank you for tuning in. Got a lot to talk about. LSU finally gets the monkey off their back, goes Tuscaloosa, and beats Alabama 46-41. If you were one of the 16 million viewing that game, you already know this, but Coach O was fired up this past Saturday at Bryant Denny. Want to bring in the Budman Buddy Sanjay on a Wednesday evening.
I tell you what, it has not stopped, JP, since the incredible victory. We have a lot to recap, a lot to talk about. Obviously, it starts off with Joe Burrow and Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire has just made so many believers. What a special moment with the embrace with his dad after the ball game. Joe Burrow, of course, solidifying his position in the Heisman Trophy race. LSU CFP Week 2 comes in number 1, flip-flops with Ohio State. Recruiting going through great guns. They don't have enough scholarships for kids that want to come here. And now you have to put all that by the wayside. Media, fans, mamas and daddies, everybody can celebrate and still talk about it. But the football team has got to get their act together, because you know what happened the last time LSU played Ole Miss after Alabama in Oxford, Mississippi? They got pounded by the Ole Miss Rebels. So I'm thinking this is going to be a lot tougher game than most people think. It is a 21-point spread right now. But thank the good Lord, the streak is over. How nice was that? And I was exhausted after that game, JP.
That's right. We got some highlights from this past Saturday. We'll go ahead and roll those for you and keep talking about the game. Look, the first half was so enjoyable. Tua goes in to score early, fumbles the ball. You knew it kind of would go LSU's way from there, at least in the first half. But sitting there enjoying all the scoring, you kind of knew Alabama would come on a run the second half. And you mentioned you were exhausted after that game. The back and forth, the heavyweight fight atmosphere, Alabama, LSU. I mentioned it was the most viewed game of the week. That's the 4th time I believe LSU has been the most watched game of the year on a Saturday. It was exciting. Defense did just enough. You mentioned Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Talk about 4 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 1 through the air. And that spin move was so sweet. We'll have that highlight in just a minute for you. But he has really come into his own, excelled in this offense. You heard the quarterback, Joe Burrow, talk about how important he is for the matchups. If you go man-to-man, he's going to beat that linebacker. If you stay in zone, they'll find a way to dink and dunk you down the field with those dynamic receivers.
There's the fumble right there at the start. Here we go, the first drive. LSU goes right down. The man, you got to love Jamar Chase as he owns their cornerback the whole first half. He held him the second half. And then JP, of course, the special teams play to get the ball back over to the Tigers.
Uncharacteristic mistakes for the Crimson Tide leads to a field goal for Cade York, who I thought looked great in the moment. It was never too big for him. He did his job. This kind of turned your stomach upside down in the first half. The penalty you thought was going to come with the face mask doesn't. You knew Waddle would have an impact on this game. He was just too electric on the football field, and this is what happens. All the way back for a score.
Well, and you know, I'm watching the LSU guys on defense, and not that I'm going to question Greg McMahon, but they didn't have enough speed on that play. I think they got to tweak that unit a little bit. Here's Burrow going once again, wide open, Terrace Marshall. And I want to see number 6 get a few more balls. Everybody knows about 1 and 2. 6 is open all the time.
During the first half, they kept showing Nick Saban. I think every Tiger fan wanted to see him explode on the sidelines, but he really didn't. He kept his cool for the most part. LSU finds a way to keep it close, even though they should have probably been leading by more. That big score on the punt return really kept Alabama in the game early.
And then here, once again, an incredible play and catch by Thaddeus Moss. I wanted to back end Gary Danielson and maybe do it 2 or 3 times. He's trying to play judge and jury right here. Now, he had no idea what was going to happen. It was called a touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire somersaulting into the end zone. But Danielson, you were horrible as always.
You see Patrick Queen getting the interception. I'll tell you, go back to that Thad Moss play. When they didn't get that call overturned in Bama, I was thinking, hey, this might be the day we beat the refs in Alabama.
Yep.
And sure enough, got the call. You saw Clyde Edwards-Helaire. That's his receiving touchdown. He got open in the zone, did a great job catching the ball. Had 9 catches, 9 receptions in the game versus the Crimson Tide.
Here we go, second half. Alabama's on their way back. Back shoulder throw. Patrick Queen couldn't turn around. Joe Burrow, man, you got to love this guy. He does everything. He throws it. He leads the team, and he runs the football when they need him. And, of course, once again, Clyde Edwards-Helaire with the spin move. Reminded me of T.K. Danson when he was about 30 years old.
TK, shout out. I know you're watching right now. So the game did get close in the end. There you see, forgetting his name. What's that kid, number 4?
Jerry Jeudy.
Judy, catch a touchdown late. The running by Joe Burrow really set up all game, and then he went to that fake quarterback draw, left a defense in limbo, and had a receiver wide open. This is the power from Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This is why this kid is special. Low to the ground, very powerful lower body.
All right, here we go.
Run it.
Once again, this is a total screw-up by LSU. You're up double-digit points. Dave Aranda, what are you doing playing press man-to-man? And Derek Stingley, if you're going to get beat and you don't have safety help over the top, tackle the guy. It's only a 15-yard penalty. Texas, Auburn, and Alabama, LSU's dominated all the games, and yet they've had to recover onside kicks. I don't like the way they play in defense on the back end of these games.
There you see the victory formation. Coach O gets dunked not once but twice, one with the water, one with the Gatorade. You know that felt good for the coach. And he was pumped up after the game. The Instagram live clip from the team that was leaked, that went viral. Everybody was trying to attack
That was
Coach O.
silly to do that. Don't turn that on.
I agree, don't turn that on. But then, not only national, but the fans in Tuscaloosa complained about how classless that is. If you don't think that that's happening in every single locker room around the country, you're mistaken. Coach O was pumped up. He was happy for his team. That's what happens in those locker rooms. All the testosterone is flying. You gotta put the phone away when Coach O is talking after the game.
Entitled Heaven, Purgatory, or Hell, it's all in the state of Alabama. Never seen a more entitled fan base. They're griping about the officials. On the second drive, they miss a face mask on Burrow. It'd be first down at the 9. They held Jamar Chase all the second half. Over and over again. Yeah, LSU got some calls, but once again, the entitled fan base of Alabama. Get a grip. LSU's better this year. LSU beat your butt and take it to the house. Although the sad part about it, and you and I talked, this fan base now that's so entitled and so arrogant.
Right.
They're not happy with Nick.
Right.
And I will say this, he did look like he aged about 5 years in that first half, but their team did not quit, came back. But the fan base of Alabama, if you got any Alabama fans, I had to tell 5 or 6 of them, STFU.
That's right.
Shut the frick up.
That's right.
You got beat this time. Don't want to hear all that. And then they want to get in for the third time on a mulligan and not play in the SEC championship game and still be in the Final Four of the CFP. Go home, Bama.
Hearing about the rematch already. Look, you can't say enough for Joe Brady. Joe Brady and Joe Burrow, the team matchup that they've combined for this year for the offense. They have been dynamic. Joe Burrow, 31 for 39, 303 yards and 3 touchdowns. It all revolves around number 9. We'll hear from number 9 right here on Tigers Roar. We'll also hear from Coach Joe. And we have that segment with Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com on recruiting. A whole lot more on Tigers Roar. Coming up, we come back from these messages. He's the Bud Man, Buddy Sanji. I'm Jonathan Poche. Come back and join us right here at Scoreboards on Tigers Roar.
Remember what these trips were like before you put the screens in the back seats?
I don't want to think about it.
Are we there yet? I'm hungry. Where are we?
Go, go, go. That game should keep them occupied.
Oh, yeah!
Dad!
Oh, in your face!
Don't make me get back there.
You don't need a new car to have new technology. Mike's Audio, conveniently located on Airline Highway near the corner of Bluebonnet.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Fruget Jr., and I am a general dentist at Fruget Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology, which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Mm-hmm. Told you.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Basketball right there in the bumper. Coach Will Wade's bunch is playing right now as we tape. Tigers roar up in Virginia, playing VCU, a formal destination for Will Wade. Spent 3 years there as a head coach. Looking for big things from his squad this season. Repeat that SEC championship from last year. But we got to talk more LSU, Alabama. You the Tiger win over the Crimson Tide only once every 8 years. You got to enjoy it, right, Bud Man?
Well, what I like about Coach O is, look, and my sister's calling me screaming, and everybody's calling at halftime. And, you know, you're thinking at halftime, man, LSU is not only going to get over the screen and get the karma turned back around, but they're going to do it convincingly. And so, Coach O said it on Monday. They played 30 minutes, as good as they can play, and then they came back and let Alabama end the game. Once again, Derek Stingley, you're too good a football player to not know that if somebody gets behind you and you don't have help over the top, you tackle the guy, you hold him. They're not pressing at the line of scrimmage. I don't know why Corey Raymond's not teaching that, but they've got to do a better job of redirecting when they play press man. And Dave Aranda, has not done good. Texas scored at their last possession. Auburn scored at the last possession. Alabama scored at the last possession. You don't want Alabama to come back with the Mulligan and be number 4 and LSU 1. But these are the things that hurt LSU because Alabama's still in the discussion. Of course, they were 5 last night, and LSU's going to probably play Georgia, so they may get in. But that being said, I thought that Joe Burrow missed a few throws in the second half. They held Chase the whole time. But all in all, not to gripe about it, it was a glorious, glorious Saturday afternoon. And from a recruiting standpoint, how cool was that? I got a little fired up about the Instagram and all of the Bama people. Learn to realize that every now and then the other team's better than you. And this year LSU is better than Alabama, but all the excuses about Tua, he played his butt off, and then all of a sudden, he's limping to the locker room like somebody hit him with a 300-pound sledgehammer.
Right.
But all that being said, Coach O tells it like it is, and he knows, and you should know, if you want to win the national championship, you got to play 60 minutes, not 30.
Well, Coach O told his team before they went into Tuscaloosa that they were the better team. He fully expected to win. He had confidence in each and every player. We'll let you guys hear from Coach O about his reaction after the game, what the immediate days following that game felt like, and really where's recruiting nowadays. Looking forward to Ole Miss. Look, this is not where LSU wanted to finish. Yes, beating Alabama was a huge thing for the state of Louisiana, but they have bigger goals in mind. Here is head coach Ed Orgeron.
Hello, everybody. Great win. Total team effort. Excited for our team, excited for the state of Louisiana, excited for LSU, all the former players, all the former coaches, everyone that's been involved and contributed to LSU. What a great day for LSU family. Total team effort, that's what it was going to take. Preparation, mindset, and confidence. We had it going into the week. We felt we were the better team the whole time, but we knew it was going to have to go out there and prove it, and we did. I thought our offensive line played phenomenal. James Craig has done a great job. To see the transformation of our offensive line from one year to the next has been really remarkable, and give him credit and give Lloyd Cushenberry and Damon Lewis the leadership that they've done with that offensive line. I'm very proud of them. The play of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, as we all know, was phenomenal. One of the best efforts I ever seen a football player in my 35 years of coaching. And also Joe Burrow. Those guys were great on offense. On defense, Kelvon Chancellor had his best game. 10 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. The interception that Patrick Queen he got right before the half, helped us win the game, and the fumble recovered by Ray Thornton. I thought those were some good stuff. You know what? I'm talking to the team today. Today's still a Truth Monday. And although that we won a big game, we didn't play our best for 60 minutes. I thought we played our best for the first half. Some parts of the game we played well in the second half. Some parts of the game we didn't. And I'm going to challenge our guys to play their best for 60 minutes. So that's what we're going to talk about today. On the Ole Miss, we're going to treat this week just like any other week. We're going to go through the process. Today's Tell the Truth Monday. We're going to enjoy the win. We're going to have a 24-hour rule. Then press on to Ole Miss. I'll tell you a little bit about them. First of all, they put this game on their calendar. This is the game that they want to win. This is a rivalry game. For them, they want to beat LSU. This is the team they would like to beat along with Mississippi State. And we know we're going to get their best shot. And they play great at home. It's going to be a great crowd, be a great challenge for our football team. On offense, they're a spread offense. They're very, very difficult to stop on offense. They have an excellent running game, 247 yards rushing per game. They're led by quarterback John Plumlee, number 10, dual threat quarterback, elusive runner, has almost 800 yards rushing. Second in the SEC in yards per carry and 7 touchdowns. Jerrion Early is a kid that we recruited, a dynamic runner, a dynamic back. Elijah Moore is their leading wide receiver. On defense, they are 3-4. They moved from a 4-3 to a 3-4 to 6 returning starters. They're only giving up 24 points a game, 123 rushing, 274. Benito Jones is an excellent defensive lineman. I tried to recruit him and know him well. Sam Williams is a good rusher, has 5 sacks this year. And they're very solid on special teams. We're very proud of our football team, and we're happy for all the things that we've accomplished. But still, we got to focus in on one game at a time. We have not, by far, reached our goal. There will be bigger games down the road for us to play in, and this is the biggest game we play in because it's our next opponent. Any questions?
Ed, you mentioned the 24-hour rule. What have the last 24 hours been like for you and the team?
Been great. Been great. You know, I went home with Saturday night. Me and Kelly had a ham sandwich and some chips and watched Sports Center. I mean, it was a great night. You know, but yesterday was good. Watching the film, everybody was really in a good mood. But after you watch the film, there's some things that we're a competitive staff. There's some things that we need to get better at. Obviously, I can't wait to see the team today. I know they probably enjoyed the last couple of days, and but it's time to get the business today, get to work.
Coach, sometimes when players say things, it seems like maybe they don't mean it. But your guys saying we haven't arrived, this is not our end goal. Joe Burrow, Rashard Lawrence, them saying it seems like they believe it.
Yes,
do you get that?
They
sense?
believe they were going to win all week. They know what we're shooting for. We don't talk about it, but but we want to win. We want to win, and Ole Miss is in our way. And that's it. We want to win.
Ed, right here in the middle. What was Power Hour like Sunday night?
Phenomenal.
And obviously you guys got a big commitment as well.
Yes, phenomenal. And recruiting is going very well right now. Coaching staff and our support staff has done a phenomenal job. There's a lot of guys that want to come to LSU right now. We're going to have the best players coming to LSU. We're also in the 2021 class. There was a lot of players at that game, and there will be a lot of players this week at the game. Guys are coming to more and more watch us play and like what they see. It's been a great response on the phone.
Ed, over here, a couple of things. How much did you guys study the Clemson game that Alabama played against them and glean anything from that? And two, were you surprised at how much it seems like you really were able to create a lot of confusion with your formations? Were you surprised that you were able to be that effective doing it?
First of all, we did study Clemson. We did study Clemson in the summer extensively. I don't think we studied them that much last week. We have confidence in our scheme, especially offensively. There were some things on that film that I've never seen before done to that team. And was I surprised? I thought we could do it, but we had to go out and execute it. I thought it was very well executed, especially when they had 11 seconds left. The play to Clyde was a very difficult play to defend against that coverage. So I thought that Coach Steve Ensminger and Joe Birdie had the right things called, and they did a tremendous job against a very good defense and against a very good defensive coach.
Coach over here. Going back to recruiting for a second, you've talked a lot about wanting to recruit Louisiana, obviously a ton in the past.
Yep.
Just what is your strategy with developing relationships with high school programs around the state, and has it gotten easier to recruit in the state since you've been here?
You know, we call high school coaches every Thursday, and we have a high school coaches powwow every Thursday. We wish them good luck. I have their record in front of me. I know who they're playing. They love it. I believe we have about as good a relationship with most high schools in the state since I've been here. They all pulling for us. They all text me. They're all in communication about recruiting. I've talked to several coaches this morning, some of the top players. So I think that we're doing a better job in the state of Louisiana than we ever have.
Coach, as a freshman, my first LSU game was 1977. Ensminger was the quarterback. Carlos Carson caught 5 touchdowns. It was 77-0. We never thought we'd see what we're seeing now, though, and I'm just curious because he was already here. We can't talk to him, but what is Steve saying about how this has been and his role in it? And what would you say about him, the conversations you're having and his role?
About the job Steve is doing? Phenomenal. He's like our general in there. He's steady. Steve doesn't want any credit. Steve loves the LSU Tigers. I'll never forget the day that we hired him. I mean, we needed him offensive coordinator, and he said, I'm going to do it. And people don't believe I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it, and he's doing it. And I think it was a great victory for him. Coming back going on the plane, I told him how I felt. I felt that we got our guns loaded. We're going to win this football game. I felt confident. And I told that to several coaches. And when we got back, there was, I guess, several thousand fans at the airport. Well, he said, man, I ain't never seen nothing like this before. So he's very proud, but he's humble. He's on to work today. Don't want any credit. Just go on to work. Let's go beat Ole Miss. Steve's very mature, very smart. He's a team player. He's let Joe be involved as much as I've ever seen an offensive coordinator let a passing game coordinator be involved. very unselfish, much like our team.
Yeah, Ed, on the deep ball that Stingley got beat on, what happened? Because it looked like he turned to the sideline and got distracted.
Yeah,
What happened?
Yeah, well, it was a good job on that part, and something that we have to cover. We had covered it, but we didn't cover it enough. What he did, he clapped and he looked over. Well, look over, they're changing the play, so our guys look over to change the play. He clapped, he faked, looked over, and the guy ran a fade on him. That was not Derek's fault at all. That's something that we should have covered more with him, and something we have to fix in our system. That was nowhere. He was doing what he was coached, so that's not his fault. I got to take the blame for that.
Coach, you're right. Obviously, the LSU-Alabama game has a lot of talk in the trenches, O-line, D-line. You all watched the film. How do you feel like those two sides played?
Phenomenal. I was so proud of our offensive line. The first play, we have a double team, a bump combo, and we won it. We won it very well, and I felt those guys fought. They battled. They wasn't overwhelmed. Obviously, Alabama made some plays. They got a couple first-round picks up there, but I thought our line fought. I was very proud of them. I felt like they didn't run the ball. They had 137 yards rushing on us, which is too much. But last year they had over 200. They ran the ball in between the tackles. We couldn't stop them. So I thought both sides of the line of scrimmage played very well, especially in the middle.
Over here in the front. Two-part question, but pretty simple. One, do you ever get calls or inquiries from other people in coaching who maybe their first big job didn't go as well as they had hoped, but they always believed if they got in the right circumstance, the second chance it would go a lot better. And the second part is just, I'm sure you would have loved to have killed it in your first job, but do you like the kind of moral of your story about learning and growing and having it?
Sure. First of all, not many coaches call me. I don't know why. I can't answer, but I don't call many coaches neither. I got my staff here, and those are the guys I talk to. I go home and talk to Kelly and my kids, and that's about it. Ole Miss was a great opportunity for me as a young coach. I wasn't that young, but it was my first job. It was in the SEC. I learned a lot of things. I learned how to do things. I learned how not to do things. So I'm very appreciative of that job. I don't like the results. But you know what? It prepared me for down the road to – Coach Carroll told me, he said, you're not going to figure out what type of coach you are until you're 50, 51. I didn't want to believe that, but it just takes a while, especially when you get your butt beat. You're going to learn how to get better. And I do believe that job trained me for the job that we're doing today. So I'm appreciative of it.
Ed, from Saturday's game on third downs on defense, it looked like K'Lavon Chaisson had one of his better games. What did you see from him there, and how effective did y'all approach third downs?
I do believe that K'Lavon had one of his best games. He's healthy. We let him rush. We didn't stun him a bunch. We came around the edge. We gave him a free rush to go outside the tackle, inside the tackle. He made a great play on third down with the tackle pulled. That was a big stop for him. And I feel like he's coming into his own right now.
Head coach Ed Orgeron this week's press conference talking about the Alabama game. He thought his team played well, but only for 30 minutes. Well, played their best football for 30 minutes. Knows they have to play for a full 60 minutes if they really want to achieve their ultimate goal. Got to keep your eye on the prize at this point.
Really interesting situations here this weekend, folks. Of course, everybody knows Ed Orgeron was at Ole Miss. They gave him his first opportunity as a head coach in 3 years. He didn't do real well. Got the pink slip. Everybody knows he was a great interim coach at USC. They chose not to give him the head gig. We know about what happened. But looking through the media guide and going back here, Ole Miss has beaten LSU in Oxford 3 of the last 5 times and skunked them in 15. Of course, Les got the pink slip in 16. Yep. But here's the flip side. We're getting ready to hear from Matt Luke. And Pete Cordelli, who's on the show with us all the time, says this is his savior game. Yeah. If he is going to be saved as the Ole Miss coach, he's got to beat the #1 team in the country Saturday night. For some reason, they bring out the worst in LSU. Now, they have a really good running game, right? But LSU, in case you don't know, folks, has 3 offensive linemen. Deculus is banged up and doubtful for the game. Charles, once again, another suspension. This will be his 5th one. And, of course, we know that Dart Rosenthal also looks to be suspended. So we're going to have to move Adrian McGee, who went in at right tackle for Deculus when he got hurt, Gonna move him over to the left side. Ed Ingram at left guard, and Badera Traore, who hadn't played much. So this is a makeshift offensive line. They are second in the conference in sacks, and so you got to figure they're going to be blitzing Joe Burrow. And as I said today on the radio show, grab that guy and get a 10-yard holding penalty before you let somebody take a clean shot at Joe Burrow, because that's the one thing you cannot afford is to lose Joe Burrow, getting a clean shot and get hurt, concussion, tweaked knee, ankle, elbow, whatever, shoulder. So interesting game, 21-point favorites. You got everything in front of you, but let's hope and let's see how they handle. You know, it's one thing to be great, but how much success can this team handle? They're really a great team. They'll take care of business on Saturday night.
Well, the head coach for the Ole Miss Rebels is Matt Luke. He's definitely an Ole Miss guy. He cares a lot about the program and their future. Buddy Sanji said that he's probably on the hot seat. This might be a saving game for him against the #1 team. It's also senior night at Ole Miss. We'll let you guys hear from head coach Matt Luke, and what he's preparing his players for, how they match up against LSU, what they expect to see out of the Tigers, and also about those very special seniors he has in mind. Try to make a bowl for these seniors because something they've never experienced yet. Here is head coach of the Ole Miss Rebels, Matt Luke.
Yeah, just excited to be coming home. This is why you coach and why you play for games like this. Should be a great atmosphere in Vaught-Hemingway, playing against the #1 team in the country. Be a great night for recruiting for our fan base, and just looking forward to the opportunity. Just watching tape, LSU, it's what you expect. Really, really good. Obviously led by Joe Burrow. 78.9% completion percentage. That's pretty amazing, and I think he's a leader, very, very good player. So we'll have our work cut out. We got to try to find ways to slow them down and bow our neck in the red zone. Try to hold them to field goal. Some. I don't think you totally shut these guys down, but try to find ways to slow them down and make this thing a 4-quarter game. Defensively, they've been very, very good stopping the run, which obviously has been our strength. So trying to find a way to run the football. Then when people have hurt them in the passing game, it's been making plays one-on-one down the field and making those one-on-one tough catches. So I think that'll be huge for us. We'll have to make a couple of those in this game, but should be an awesome atmosphere and a great college football game. So very excited about that. As far as injury report goes, we're in pretty good shape. Scotty is still a little bit questionable. We'll find out more about him tomorrow. And then Tisdale and Jalen Jones, we'll also evaluate them on Tuesday. I would say they're probable right now.
I would take questions. Matt, you brought up Burrow. Just what do you tell your players about preparing for a guy who's been so efficient this year? He's getting all this Heisman hype. How do you kind of prepare them?
Yeah, I mean, you got 10 games, 9 games worth of tape to watch, and just try to find out ways to slow him down. We got to get some pressure on him, try to get him out of his comfort zone a little bit. And then obviously make plays when we have to. When the plays are there, we got to make them. If we have an opportunity for an interception, we need to make it. Have an opportunity to hold them to a field goal in the red zone. That those will be huge, and every play will be critical. And just like coming down the stretch, we got to prepare. And when those plays come in the game that could go either way, we got to make the 50-50 play, and that'll be huge. And again, we're playing at home. We'll feed off our home crowd, and we've played well at home on defense. So I would expect that to continue.
You kind of walk in here with a smile on your face, seem kind of enthusiastic about welcoming this #1 team. Is that kind of reflective of the locker room and everything this week?
I mean, this is why you coach. This is why you play, is to be in games like this. When you coach in the Southeastern Conference and play in this league, this is why you do it. And again, we've played several top 10 teams already this season and played well against them. So I'm just excited about the opportunity, excited for our fan base. I think it'll be packed. There'll be a bunch of recruits here. It'll be a good night, for Ole Miss.
Matt, what do you remember about your time on staff with Ed Orgeron, and what changes have you observed in him?
Yeah, again, I did work for a year with him, but it was I got a lot of respect for him and his work ethic, and obviously on the recruiting side of it, he obviously did a good job. It seems like he has done a really good job there of being himself. And just kind of evolving, and he's done a phenomenal job, and they're the #1 team in the country for a reason. I think he's done an outstanding job.
Questions? Matt, their passing game is obviously explosive and consistent, but they also have a little running back that's kind of been underrated, as far as I can see.
Yeah, he plays with his heart. You know, you could see on the sideline, even when you watch the TV copy of the game, he's all into it emotionally. He's hard to tackle. A couple of their touchdowns, he broke a tackle, ran through a corner. There's one time they had a guy coming off the edge, and he just kind of made him miss. So he's just a shifty back. He's hard to tackle, and it's a good complement to what they do in the passing game.
You hit on their defense a little bit. There have been a couple of teams that have scored against them this year. Just what have you seen from those teams that have been able to do that?
Yeah, when you watch the tape, you're expecting to see, a bunch of yards. There really wasn't. I was just going through. They've been really good against the run. Alabama did hit them with some big plays, and so did Texas. So those are the two that you saw. Texas hit them with some big plays down the field, and so did Alabama. But again, you still see a very, very good defense. They've been very solid against the run, and in most games have played really good defense, all around. So, you'll have your work cut out for you. But again, we got to find ways to run the football and create some one-on-one matchups. And when we do get them, we need to hit them.
Matt, your family's obviously very steeped in this rivalry. Just talk about that a little bit from what you remember from your dad with him playing in it and so on.
Yeah, this for my dad, this was the rivalry for a long, long time. The winner of this game was the SEC champion, and just hearing stories of Coach Vaught and growing up with the Billy Cannon run, and my dad grew up with him playing against LSU. That was the rivalry for him. So it was obviously very important, and a game I always grew up watching. It's very, very important to a lot of Ole Miss fans, and it's very important to us.
What positions might y'all look to the transfer portal for help next year?
I think based on your needs in recruiting, that's always an option now. It's just part of it. But obviously tight end may be one, just because we have two seniors there, and obviously you look at D-line. We know where you have a lot of seniors graduating is the ones you look for immediate needs.
Coach, on the same lines with recruiting, how big is this game to close strong on the recruiting front?
Well, I think it is big. I think recruiting is going really well right now, and I think all the players are, love seeing the direction we're heading. And I think that's good. But when they show up and see a good atmosphere, and they see the electricity in Vaught-Hemingway and see the Grove, that only helps, because I think people realize Ole Miss is a special place. But when they come here and they see the electricity and the atmosphere, it'll only help.
Matt, this is obviously senior night for y'all. Some of these fifth-year guys on the team have been through everything from Sugar Bowl to through the probation. Just what has this senior class meant to you? How have you seen them grow in the last 4 or 5 years?
I think it is a special class. It's a unique class in the fact they've been through, like you said, they've been to the ultimate high, and they've been through a bunch of stuff. But I think they're a tough group. They're a mentally tough group. They've been through a lot, and I think that they'll look back when they see this program continue to move forward and be very, very proud of what they've been able to fight through and accomplish. Because it's not really the situation that you get dropped into. We talked a lot about a big pot of boiling water. If you drop a potato into it, it gets soft. If you drop an egg into it, it gets hard. It's not the situation you get dropped into. It's what's inside that counts. And I think that this group has been very, very tough-minded and have battled our way through it.
Matt, along those lines and talking about those seniors, there are a couple of different paths that you guys could find your way into a bowl game, whether it's reaching 6 wins or using the APR route to get in there. How important would that be for those kids who've never got to experience that during their Ole Miss careers?
Yeah, I think it's huge. That was the goal coming into the season, was to try to get this program back to postseason. And we have 2 games left, and that's what we want to do. We want to win both of them. And, again, it starts for us to focus on this week. And again, if it comes down to it at the end, we'll focus on it then. But right now we have to focus on LSU and trying to find a way to win this football game.
That was Ole Miss head coach Matt Luke talking about LSU, the matchup they will have this upcoming weekend, 6 o'clock ESPN in Oxford. Going to have a lot more on that game later on in this show. Players know that this is not where they want to end up. They have some more goals in mind, including that national championship, currently sitting number 1 in the college football playoff poll. And it's an exciting time for LSU football. It's an exciting time for recruiting, and that's what's coming up right now. After this break here on Tiger Shore, we will have Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com joining us via the telephone Don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Creel Tree Service is a licensed and insured tree service providing tree and stump removal, topping, trimming, cabling, pruning, and fertilizing. We have free stump removal with takedowns, free estimates, affordable rates, and senior citizens discounts. Call 774-TREE. That's 774-8733. Get your yard ready for the warmer weather. If it deals with a tree, call me, Creel Tree Service, 774-8733. That's 774-TREE.
When my wife and I started Relief Windows, what we were trying to do, what our goal was to give a quality job to a homeowner. Everybody's scared of contractors. We wanted to change the mold of what that is. Not showing up on time, not answering the phone, somebody running with your money. The reason why you should pick Relief Windows to do your renovation of your home, windows, doors, hardy plank, or siding, is because of the experience, quality service of our company. Service is everything we have. It's the foundation of our company. We're going to show up on time. We're going to do the job right. Over 60% of our customers is customer referral. We're a local company here in Baton Rouge, built in Baton Rouge, staying in Baton Rouge. Okay. The job's not done until you're happy and we're happy. It's built the old-fashioned way, with a handshake. Here at Relief Windows, it's an honor to be official window, door, and siding company of LSU Athletics, from one winning team to another.
Remember the smell of vinyl? What happened to all your old records? Lost in a move? Thrown out by the ex? Get them back. Classic Vinyl's record store and collectibles, 13847 Coursey, where you can find all old vinyl, all genres of music, rock, country, blues, and R&B. Classic Vinyls and collectibles behind Mary Lee Donuts and Coursey. If they don't have it, they'll get it. Look for them on Facebook. Classic Vinyls, sponsors of Classic Vinyls Classic Rock Night Thursdays at Scoreboards on Coursey.
I'll leave for a little while, and all you other letters think you can take over my town. Look at you. None of you's even involved. If the people want the money they deserve for their accident,
The E-Guarantee.
and as for you other letters, it's time you were erased.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Hello. Hola. 你好.
Experience what the Baton Rouge International School can offer your children. Now welcoming displaced students for short and long-term stability.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy, and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-654-9927, 800-654-9927.
Welcome back to Tigers Roar. I am Jonathan Poche, joined by the Budman, Buddy Sanjay, and very special guest on Tigers Roar, Mike Scarborough from TigerBait.com. Good evening, Mike. How are you?
I'm doing great.
LSU goes into Tuscaloosa, slays the Beast, gets the monkey off their bat, beats Alabama 46-41. Really wasn't that close, had the long punt return, the long bomb against Stingley at the end. Really, LSU could have won by a lot more. Were you pleased with the effort? I mean, obviously, they got the job done, but I thought it was a little closer than it had to be.
Yeah, look, any way you could beat Alabama and break through that losing streak, you'll take it any way you can get it. But it really was a dominant performance by LSU. Yeah. But Ed Orgeron's right. There was a lot of things that they didn't do right, and they, third quarter wasn't what you wanted. You still had some special teams questions. But I mean, what more can you say about Joe Burrow and Clyde Edwards-Helaire and the receivers? I mean, the offensive line, the way they played. The thing that was shocking at the end of the night was you look at the box score, and it didn't seem like Joe Burrow had been sacked 5 times, but he had been. But just overall, it was just an unbelievable game for LSU, and I, in my opinion, I think it's the most significant regular season win in LSU football history.
Oh, okay. Hey, Mike, let's a lot of questions this week, so let's get to them. First one I got today after you got off the air. A, do you think Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to come out now after his stock has gone up appreciably in the last month? And B, talk about Zach Evans, and is this one running back class, or would they take a second one?
It's a one running back class just because you just don't have any numbers. You're 25 right now, and something's got to give to get 2 or 3 more that you want. So,
do you think he goes out 22?
Man, it's a toughie. I tend to think that he probably should, just because I don't know that if he comes back for his senior year that his stock is any higher after another year.
Sure.
And of course, another year for a running back is more tread off the tire.
All right, tell us the updates on Zach Evans. I know that did he go to Bama or did he not show up on that visit?
He did not show up.
Okay, what's the skinny on that? Do you still feel strongly he'll be in purple and gold?
I do. I think it's LSU. I think it's been LSU for almost 2 months now. And, he had a fantastic visit. I know that. And, this winning and all this publicity and LSU just being the team in college football this year is just helping LSU solidify guys like him.
All right, next question. You have interviewed this kid, Jacobian Guillory, at numerous occasions. You've seen him live. You've seen him on tape. His nickname is Tank. If you could, talk about him and how he compares to Jaquelin Roy and the haul that LSU apparently is going to bring in on the defensive front. Well,
Jacobian is a different guy. He's a bigger body. He's your inside nose guard type. And he carries it over 300 pounds very well. And I like the fact that he's gotten leaner. He's actually down 15 pounds from what he was, about 6 months ago. But fantastic football player, could have went anywhere, and just adds to an incredible defensive line class for LSU. I don't know when you're going to see a better-looking defensive line group than this. I mean, between him, Jaquelin Roy, Jalen Lee, who I don't think gets talked about near enough. I know they're high on Taylor. Ali Gay, I watched some more film on him last week, 2 or 3 games at Garden City. He's a beast. And the thing about him is, like, man, we know Cameron Jackson, I thought all along was an offensive lineman. I look at Ali Gay, and I think there's several things that they can do with him.
Last name I'm going to ask you about, then we'll give JP some questions to throw to your way. Philip Webb. Everybody, all the Tiger fans that keep up with recruiting, talk about this kid. Tell us who he reminds you of, where he fits in LSU's defensive scheme, and if you think they will also, like Eric Gilbert, shock the world and beat Alabama for a guy that I know Dave Aranda really wants, but Alabama wants him as well. Talk about this kid, Philip Webb.
Yeah, I think that LSU is the team to beat for him. The LSU coaches have done a fantastic job saying that they need outside linebackers, edge rushers, inside linebackers, and I think this class is going to fit the bill on all those. Buford, Georgia, obviously LSU's had success there. Of course, he's a Lanier High School, 6'4", 210. You already got Ojolari in the mix there. You got Alec Bryant in the mix there as edge rushers. So, you're talking about some fantastic kids there. And then you also got some hubbub out there about Jordan Burch, the 5-star defensive end, LSU in good shape with. So, but something's got to give with 25 commitments, and it's going to be interesting to see. I think these type of dominoes are going to have to start falling here pretty soon because you're right at a month away from signing day.
Mike, the offense looked dynamic in Tuscaloosa. It's all started with Joe Burrow. Everyone, Tigers fans all over the place, have been enamored with Joe Burrow. His toughness, his accuracy in the pocket, the quick decision-making, just being a leader on and off the field. But no one has been more proud of Joe than his father, Jimmy, the former defensive coordinator at Ohio. I want to talk for a second about the website. TigerBait.com has an excellent interview up right now with Jimmy Burrow. Talk about Jimmy and how he has really taken in this entire experience with his son.
No, I mean, what it must be for his father to see all this going on and the way his son has been embraced in Louisiana, and now he's the runaway front runner for the Heisman Trophy. The scene at the airport Saturday night, jerseys out there with Burrow EAUX. I mean, it's just been an unbelievable story for a kid that bided his time at Ohio State, lost out twice, chooses LSU, and it's just been a magical run. And now we're talking about him being possibly the number one quarterback taken in the draft. I mean, you couldn't draw it up any better. I guess the only way to draw it up is him indeed to get the trophy, and then LSU to finish out with a national championship.
How cool is that, guys? And you're coaching, and he played in the pros. His brothers were at Nebraska. Oh, by the way, Scott Frost, good job. You didn't want Joe Burrow. Thank you. Yeah. We'll take him down here. Not only is he popular in LSU and in this state, but the state of Ohio still loves him, and they follow him. And they've turned some Ohio places like Athens, Ohio into purple and gold. But how cool is that when you make the decision to retire and go follow your son? And Mike, he's been to Texas. He's been to Alabama. He saw Florida at night. I mean, look, Jimmy could write a book or have a movie with all the crazy stuff that's happened, and all of it's been positive.
No, him and his mom they've just got absolutely a love what's happening for their son, and I think the other part of it too is, for those of us who weren't alive when Billy Cannon won his Heisman, it used to be you wonder if you'd ever see a national championship in football. Well, that got taken care of in 2003 and 7, and then the question was, will we ever see another Heisman Trophy winner? And it looks like it's about to happen. So you've got a whole group of several generations that weren't alive for Billy Cannon, and they're about to see LSU get their second Heisman. And the great thing about it is what a positive role model he is, and how he's handled everything with class. So you just know beyond his days of playing football what things could be like for Joe Burrow as he becomes. I mean, look, you're setting the stage here for, you've got Shaq, you got Billy Cannon. I mean, there's going to be a Joe Burrow statue one day.
Hey, one other name I got to ask you about, and you've been on this guy a long time. I got information about a month ago that he wanted to come to LSU. His mom and daddy wanted him to stay in the state of Florida. A lot of pressure in state. But Marcus Dumervil, you still feel very strongly, because as we see with Charles not being able to play this weekend and Rosenthal not being able to play this weekend because of some decisions, poor decisions, and we all make them. That being said, they need a prototypical left tackle. Mike, this is the guy everybody wants. Give us the latest on Dumervil.
Yeah, I mean, look, the thing about Marcus Dumervil is a lot of it, when we say we think he's LSU, is based on, what we're getting from our sources, because he's not a kid that does interviews. And but I felt that he was a probable fit at LSU, just like Zach Evans for several months now. And he's a must-have because it's a small offensive line class. And then, of course, next year That's really got to be a focus. They've really got to parlay this national presence and this surge into a huge group of offensive linemen, a national class.
Mike, it is football season, but it's also the beginning of basketball season. As we speak at scoreboards here, it's second half, 55 for VCU, 44 for LSU. What's the latest on some basketball recruiting and who Will Wade's looking to bring in?
Yeah, Jalen Cook's national letter of intent came through, and I think that they're still waiting to see two more that come through. I know that they could sign as many as 6 or 7 in this class. But, could there be as many as 3 or 4 before this signing period ends? And then I know in the spring he plans to get a couple of more big men. So we're going to see how this finishes out for Will Wade.
Yeah, I went to the Lost and Found department today, and of course, Trey Waters, Cavell Bigby Williams, and Naz Reid were all having a Diet Coke. And I think that as we watch this team right now, it's early. Coach Wade will get them playing better, but not having those bigs and that incredible explosive point guard who could really shoot it from about 30 feet, Trey Waters. We wish all those guys the best, but we know Will Wade is a tireless recruiter. And Mike, you've had some incredible information on all these names, and most of them have been more national than regional, haven't they?
Yeah, it's, you look around the state of Louisiana in basketball, and Cook was the guy, and it's not a lot of numbers in the coming years, but I think that's going to get better. But, he's recruiting nationally, even going to Canada. So he's been all over the last couple of months.
All right, Mike, you have picked up a lot of subscribers. Let's just kind of give them an idea of what they get on a daily basis and all the stuff before the game and then as well as after the game.
That's it. Go to TigerBait.com. We've got loads of recruiting, our all-day chat every Wednesday. Drop my possibles and probables to finish out the 2020 class. Of course, 21's really about to kick into a whole other gear. We're going to be out, several of us, filming first round of the playoffs this weekend, so we're going to have some video on some of LSU's top targets early next week and over the weekend. And, of course, all our game coverage. Preston and I do a post-game show on Facebook. We've got a lot for you at TigerBait.com, and we've had a record number of new subscribers in the last couple of months, but really in the last 72 hours. So if you're an LSU fan, try us for $1 for 1 week. We really think you'll enjoy TigerBait Premium.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you,
and,
Mike.
JP, it's got to be great for Mike. He's been working his tail off all year long, but great to see all the hard work is bringing in a lot of subscribers. And let's be honest, it's great to be an LSU fan right now, Mike.
No doubt, no doubt. The fan base is at a fever pitch, and the excitement is just you can't measure what it means to the program. And that's why Ed Orgeron was emotional, because that Alabama win just really lifted a cloud off. Big win.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. We'll
All
talk
right,
with
Mike.
you next week.
Okay, talk then. Thanks.
That was Mike Scarworth from TigerBait.com. Always dropping some knowledge here on Tigers. Roar, Jacoby, and Guillory commits this weekend. It's a frenzy right now in in Baton Rouge.
They've got 25 verbals, and they've still had 3, 4, 5 more. So we'll see what happens. Some academics and some, unfortunately, they're going to have to call up and say, look, man, we apologize.
Yep.
You might have to wait until February to see if we have a spot for you.
Right.
We feel like, talking to Mike and other people, they're going to probably sign 23 or 24 in December, and it is 5 weeks from today, December the 18th.
Well, stay tuned right here on Tigers Roar. I'm Jonathan Poche. He's the Budman's Buddy Sanji. We're here at Scoreboards 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Come check it out. Sports on all the TVs. Great food, great drinks. Come check it out here at Scoreboards. We have a lot more on today's program. We're here for some players right after these messages here on Tigers Roar.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me
taste the feeling.
Hi folks, Clarence Buggs here. Coach Roger Cador would take the time to tell you how to catch our brand new show, The Roger Cador Show, but as you can see, he's kind of busy right now out at Scoreboards, Baton Rouge's newest sports grill with food that is absolutely amazing. Catch the show 8 o'clock Tuesday nights, 6:30 p.m. on Wednesdays and on Pelican Television's YouTube channel as well. You want to come out and have a great time. It's awesome, isn't it, Coach? Mm-hmm. Told you.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent.
Depend on us for service, for selection, for price.
Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La Contea takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La Contea, your Italian dining will change forever.
For Total Home Pest Control, who are you going to call?
Call the Bug Man, 923-BUGS.
For Total Pest Control for your home or business, call the original Salvant.
Call the Bug Man today, 923-BUGS.
LSU trying to make a comeback here at Scoreboards. They're up in Virginia playing VCU. Right now it is 62-56 in the second half. I want to bring you back to LSU football. Just defeating the Crimson Tide this past weekend. Looking forward to going to Oxford, taking on Matt Luke's Ole Miss Rebels. It all starts with number 9, Joe Burrow, the front runner for the Heisman. LSU currently number 1 in all 3 polls, and it has a lot to do with Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Joe, of course, has been a godsend, and the great thing I love about him, you would normally worry about an Alabama hangover, but he's going to be focused. He's going to be very ready. Once again, there's going to be a different offensive line. Deculus hurt, Charles and Rosenthal not available for this game, so They'll be tweaking. You don't want any injuries on that offensive line.
Right.
But when you have guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and I told Mike this on the recruiting segment today, when that big tight end from Georgia, Eric Gilbert, chose LSU over Alabama, maybe he had a little bit of inkling. They're so hot right now, JP, they could sign 35, 40 kids easily, and a lot of it is because of what Joe Brady is calling with Coach Ensminger, but a lot of it is what Joe Burrow is executing. And man, look, he misses a couple throws in the second half. He's human, and everybody's going like, come on, Joe, because he's been so good. Can you believe it, folks? 79% completion right now. He'll break records with that. 33 touchdowns and 4 INTs. And I'm expecting him to become the all-time single-season passing yardage record this weekend. He only needs 150 to break the record of Rohan Davey at 33-47. So look for Joe to get the record, and hopefully they will fight off any kind of Alabama hangover.
We'll let you guys hear from Joe Burrow right here on Tiger Story. He talks about how he felt seeing the reaction from everyone in Louisiana. Everybody been reaching out to him, telling him how much a great job he did this past weekend, knocking off Alabama finally. First time in 8 years. Here's starting quarterback number 9, Joe Burrow.
As far as people reaching out to me, there's just been an onslaught from a bunch of people. Everyone had their eyes on that game, and there's been a lot of great things from a lot of great people. Congratulating us and our team.
What was that moment like? Ohio State guys?
Oh yeah.
What was that moment like for you when you got off the team plane and you see all those LSU fans there cheering you guys on from the airport? What was that like for you?
Yeah, I didn't really realize how much this meant to Louisiana. It was pretty special. I was very surprised to see it, and I just wanted to do anything I could to embrace those people that came out.
Is that when you tweeted, "I love you, Louisiana"?
Yeah, that was awesome. I was excited to see all those people.
I guess have you kind of understood? You kind of get it now. I guess what that means, what you mean for this little year.
Yeah, it's hard to take a step back and reflect on it. You can't do it during the season, but I'm starting to realize how much that game meant to people.
What does it mean to you to play well? To have the people around you play well. I know you talked a little bit about this isn't the end of it, but does it kind of reaffirm, we're doing it right? Let's look at this and kind of keep rolling.
Yeah, we knew we were a really good offense, and they were a really good defense too. But we left some stuff out there on the field, just like every week. We could have scored 60 if we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot a couple times. But it's always great to come out with a win, and there's a lot more ahead of us too.
It seemed like you got everybody.
Do you think that's just a great moment in time for him, or do you expect it to have an effect in the way maybe this offense sees him and the way opposing defenses prepare for him?
I mean, you got to cover Thad, and people have known that all year, and he makes catches like that in practice, and so that was just another catch for Thad. That's maybe it runs in the family. I don't know, but that was just I expected him to make the catch. That's why I threw him the ball, and that's why if we get one-on-one with Thad, we're going to throw him the ball.
And last year, of course, the play from both lines inside the ball was pretty dominated by Alabama, but your offensive line did really well against that pass rush. Just how do you think Lloyd brought the mentality and responded to what had happened last year into this game?
They're, like I've said before, the most improved group I've ever been around, and I think this game really showed that. Alabama dominated both sides of the football last year, and I felt like we did this year. And that's a testament to the hard work that Austin, Lloyd, D-Lou, Sadiq, Adrian, Ed all put in this offseason, all the guys on defense. I'm just so proud of all those guys.
And your offense, you guys have been so dominant this year. You had a couple of weeks where you didn't hit the 40-point mark. What did you guys emphasize over the 2 weeks leading up to Alabama to get back into that higher scoring range?
We just keep doing what we do. We know that if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot and have penalties and turnovers and we convert on 3rd and shorts, that nobody can really stop us. And we can make lives difficult for a lot of defenses by putting different people in different spots. So we're just going to keep doing what we do.
The draw, fake throw, is that just stuff that you kind of have been sitting on and have?
You know, we've run that play a lot this year. That's just the first look that we got that we could throw it. And so the safety came up and we hit it right behind him. Yeah, we've run it quite a few times.
Coach O was saying today that was one of the great performances he's seen from a running back in 35 years of coaching. I mean, from your perspective, where does Clyde's performance against Alabama rank?
I mean, Clyde's so important to our team. He can catch the ball in the backfield. He makes it difficult to play man-to-man because then you have a linebacker matched up on him, and no linebacker in the country can cover Clyde. And then you go zone and we can pound it up in the middle. So that you got to pick your poison. You're gonna play man-to-man, try to defend the pass. We'll get Clyde matched up on a linebacker. You'll play zone. We'll dink and dunk you all the way down the field and then run it in. So he really just enables us to be really versatile on offense.
After a game like that, how long were you amped up? Saturday night, how long?
You know, I wasn't as amped up as I thought I was going to be. It kind of felt in the locker room, we felt like we should have won the game. We felt like we were the better team. We felt like, you know, that's what we were supposed to do. So, you know, it was just another game for us. 9-0 feels good, but we're on to the next one now.
When the playoff rankings come out, as a guy that's kind of been around football, do you enjoy it because people are talking about you? I know you don't really pay attention to it, but there has to be some satisfaction.
I mean, you pay attention to it. You see the standings, but still got 3 games left. Still got the SEC championship left. Still have 5 games left in the year, hopefully. So it doesn't mean anything in week 10. You know, they're very athletic. They're pretty good up front. Their secondary is very athletic, very fast, and I know they got some great athletes on offense. So we're just going to have to not get complacent this week in practice and keep battling through our injuries, be tough, and have a really good week of practice.
You mean 6 games? You mean 6 games?
Say that again?
You mean 6 games?
5, 3, hopefully 6.
So, any idea who the last 3 games are going to be against?
We'll find out.
Is there a different message needed? I mean, you guys go from this game where it's this titanic, highly ranked battle to a game where you're heavily favored. Does the team need a different message, or are you guys showing the maturity to deal with a lot of different situations?
Look, the message last week was it's still all about LSU, and that's how it is every week. You know, we didn't go into the last game thinking this is our Super Bowl. It was just another game where if we played as well as we could play, we were going to win the game, and we feel like that's the case every week.
You guys talk about you went to the locker room. You were in the locker room before the game, saying you knew you were going to win this game. What changed in the locker room from last year to this year to put that kind of a mindset into this matchup?
I think we knew we had an offense that could score on anybody in the country. When you have the guys that we have on offense, the points we've been putting up, the scheme we have, the coaches we have, I think you go into every game thinking that you're going to win the game.
What about, I guess, you know, Joe Brady's going to get a lot of talk about coaching, moving on, money, contracts, all that stuff. What's your interaction with him? And has it helped to have someone very relatable to you and kind of both idea but age?
Coach Joe's brought a lot of good things in, but, you know, Coach E and Coach Joe kind of molded this thing together. You know, people forget about Coach E all the time, but he's been as important in this as anybody. And he's done a great job listening to Coach Joe's ideas, listening to my ideas, and merging them with his own to kind of build this monster that we've built.
Is it the 3 of you? Do you guys pretty much meet every day and go over stuff?
Not every day. They're the coaches. They do their things. I come in with ideas on Monday of what I think the game plan could be, and they have their own. I mean, they can listen to me, they cannot listen to me, but I always try to, you know, come in prepared on Mondays and Tuesdays with some ideas in case they want to throw them in the game plan.
In what ways has Steve made it easier for Joe to transition? He's never been a play caller, he's never been a coordinator, obviously. How has he made it easier for him to kind of assimilate to college ball and kind of what he has to do in this role?
No, I don't know. I'm not in those meeting rooms. You know, that's a question for Coach E. That's Coach E question and Coach Joe question.
Just preview the Ole Miss game for us a little bit. I mean, have you had a chance to look at them, or what do you make of their defense, or who stands out to you?
You know, they've been successful on defense this year. They have they've given up some points some games, and they've had some games that have been very, very effective. So we know we're going to get their best shot, and we got to prepare like they're going to play as well as they can.
2 more for Joe. Joe, this is when everybody starts really talking good about you. guys start thinking, what's next for me? Is it important for you to really kind of focus in on let's finish and not let, what may be coming down the road, whether it be awards or future professions, those kinds of things leak in?
Yeah, I think we have a really mature team that understands the magnitude of the moment and understands where we can go as a team. And we have team guys all over this program, and they know what we can do. They know what's ahead of us. So I don't think anybody's looking forward to that.
Does Sweet Home Alabama sound any different after that win on Saturday?
That place got a little rowdy when they played it. I think that environment was really cool to play in, and I want to say some good things about that environment, those fans and that team. They were a really good team, really good fans, and made it tough for us.
I coach a redemptive story arc, kind of struggling, learning, and now excelling. Do the guys on the team recognize it?
I think that's kind of a theme across our team. Coach O, Lloyd being the last guy signed in the class, me transferring, Thad transferring, Clyde being too short, Justin 2-star. We have guys like that all over the field that were overlooked, weren't good enough, and I think that kind of brings a toughness and a mentality to the team that is a big reason that we've been successful.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
That was quarterback Joe Burrow this week, talking about his performance last weekend in Tuscaloosa and what's upcoming for Ole Miss. Look, can't say enough for what Joe Brady has brought to this LSU team. He is really showing why he should be one of the highest paid coordinators in the game of football, not only in the college level, but anywhere in the near future. Hopefully LSU finds the money to pay that man to stay, because it has been special to watch. Don't know if anybody understands how special, but Joe Burrow is leading or number 2 in the nation in passing yards per game, touchdowns with 33, and points accounted for over 218. Joe Burrow dominating, front runner for the Heisman. LSU number 1 in all 3 polls. The offense is a big reason why, but can't take away anything from the defense. Coach Joe told these guys that this is not where we want to finish. We have a couple more games to take care of business, moving on to that SEC championship, and then ultimately the college football playoffs. We'll let you hear from a defensive guy. Here is Rashard Lawrence, number 90 for the LSU Tigers, a senior defensive end that came back for his senior year, really contributed this past Saturday against the Crimson Tide. And he also knows this is not where they want to finish. Got to keep their eyes on the prize. Here is number 90, Rashard Lawrence.
It was a blast, man. The whole game was electric. I was blessed to be one of the captains, and I knew walking out with Joe and Lloyd that it was going to be a fun night, a special night, and it'll be something I remember the rest of my life.
Had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, defensive game at first for us. Then all of a sudden Tua started doing Tua things. So, it was a thriller.
How excited were you for Clyde Edwards-Helaire?
I was
answer back, I guess.
I was really excited. I didn't even know he had 4 touchdowns, because where I was sitting at, every time we scored, it was like a glare on the scoreboard. So I didn't know till today that he had 4 touchdowns. So he came up with some big plays, and he kept on answering for us.
You know what this means to the state. What does it mean to you? What's been your favorite moment, when somebody texts you or calls you?
For me personally, my favorite moment is kind of knowing what's ahead. Being in the driver's seat in the SEC West is something that I haven't got to experience since I've been here. Usually Alabama's always been a game or 2 ahead of us. So for us to be able to control our own destiny in the West is something new for me, and feels good.
You're in North Louisiana, right?
Yeah.
You know what they've done up there. It makes going home a little bit easier now?
Oh yeah, I got everybody at Neville High School was texting me and calling me, congratulating me, and really everybody across the state, especially North Louisiana. I know we've kind of lost some recruiting battles throughout the years, but I think this win kind of made up for all that.
Did it also just help make up after last year when Coach was talking about the defensive line play and you guys coming in? How did it feel to be able to get that redemption against Alabama?
It felt real good. Last year, they out-physicaled us, We were pushed around. We really didn't play well at all. So to kind of go out there and control the line of scrimmage and, you know, get some pressure on the guy, it felt good to kind of have the tables turned.
Coach O had some interesting messages afterwards, you know, whether it be on the field or in the locker room. When you said stuff like that, you kind of know where it's coming from, but does it also juice you up? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we believe this now.
Yeah, it does. He was very emotional after the game, as he should have been. You know, it was a career-defining win for him. I knew it was a career-defining win for all of us, but specifically him with, you know, all the heat that he got for when he was told he was going to be got hired to be the head coach. He took a lot of heat, you know, and he's came up short against these guys 2 or 3 times now. So he was very emotional, but we right behind him, though. So.
How about that? Just the changes that he's been able to oversee, make you guys the team you are now. You don't see a lot of coaches, you know, that humble to make those kinds of moves.
Yeah, he's an everyday evolving guy, because I remember after last year he was like, Rashard, I got to look into the RPO, you know, different things like that. You want to hear your coach want to get better. He's not stubborn. He doesn't want to stay the same. He wants to continue to get better, because the game changes every year. You know, different concepts and different things are put in. So, I mean, for him to be as, you know, able to want to have a change, it's good.
What's the challenge this week?
The challenge is that this is a rivalry game. We got to play our best ball, and we got to continue to get better, you know, on us. You know, we made a lot of mistakes in the second half that wasn't us. So for us, we got to play on defense a 60-minute game and, you know, have a great week of practice.
Is it also important for you guys to really get the younger guys that may be still reliving the Alabama win to focus on, you know, it doesn't count for points this week?
Yeah, I think competition Tuesday will get it out of them pretty quick. You know, we about to get after it tomorrow. So, you know, we just got to have a great week of practice and show the guys that, you know, it was a big win, but it's back to reality. We got to go out there Saturday and have another good game.
I know you're busy during the game, but is Burrow the difference maker? I mean, is he just the kind of thing that puts you guys above everybody else?
You said Joe?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's a complete package, man. I look at him as a dual threat. You know, people kind of think he just wants to sit back there and throw, but he made some big runs for us, you know, so he's a difference maker, and he's made a lot of big plays for us.
Does this team like being on the road? It seems like y'all get really up for these road games.
Yeah, you know, Coach O, it's his favorite thing is he told us he likes going on the road, and we're just kind of separated from everybody else. You know, we are kind of on our own. You know, only the people in that room in the hotel Friday night matters, so we enjoy it.
2 more. Does it, for you personally, you know, especially since y'all have been kind of the favorite in so many games going on the road, does that kind of help with that, you know, underdog backs against the wall mentality?
A little bit. I mean, I think for us, we just want to prepare at a level, you know, to get ready to really do what we have to do. You know, we're a big practice team. Usually we play our best ball, we practice the best. So for us, we just want to take it a day at a time and have a good week of practice.
That was big number 90, Rashard Lawrence had 4 total tackles, half a sack, and 2 big pass breakups this past weekend against Tua and that Crimson Tide offense. They've done a pretty good job just doing enough to get the win this past weekend at Tuscaloosa. As I mentioned, LSU, number 1 in all 3 polls, going to Oxford, Mississippi this weekend to take on Matt Luke's Ole Miss Rebels. That game will be on ESPN at 6 o'clock. I want to thank Buddy Sanger for being the co-host. Unfortunately, he had to be pulled off the show, so you have me for the remainder. We're here to put a bow on this episode of Tigers Roar. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget about our YouTube page, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. That's where you can keep up with everything we do at the Pelican, from Tigers Roar to Coach Kadar's show to the Overtime Series with AD Roman Banks and Glitter Gossip. Check it all out on YouTube. Once again, youtube.com/Pelican Broadcasting. Each and every Wednesday, we come to you from Scoreboards, 10655 Coursey Boulevard, one of Baton Rouge's newest sports bars. Great food, great atmosphere to watch a game right now. They have the LSU game. They've cut it to 2 at VCU, 71-69 as you sit here on a Wednesday. Don't forget to come check us out about 5:30 on a Wednesday. Be part of our live audience. Get some great food. You get to meet the Bud Man, Buddy Sanji. Talk some LSU sports. Anything you want to do, it's all here at Scoreboards. Don't forget to check it out. Once again, 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Very convenient to get to, right in between Airline Highway and Sherwood Forest Boulevard. So come check us out here at Scoreboards. Lots going on each and every day. Great food specials. Lots to do on the weekends. Great time to check it out is during these games on the weekends. Obviously, LSU sitting at 9-0. Saints at 7-2. I guess we'll get to the Saints in this part of the program. While they stunk it up this past weekend against the Falcons, the Dirty Birds came into the Superdome, put it on the Saints. Drew Brees and offense never got in rhythm. Of course, we know Sean Payton got engaged on Friday. They had a few cold ones to celebrate. Can almost guarantee that the Saints don't score a touchdown in the ball game. Falcons win with a final score of 26-9. Yes, Will Lutz did get on the board, but not enough points from the Saints. Couldn't stop Matt Ryan, Julio Jones. Of course, they did get banged up on the offensive front for the Houdat's. You saw Andres Pete go out. Will Clapp came in the game. He didn't have his best showing by far, but look, give him a break. During practice every week, he's out on the end practicing for that jumbo package. Will Clapp will look to get more playing time. He's a great kid. Brother Martin kid back from my neck of the woods. Obviously went to LSU, so we wished him the best, along with all the black and gold. But, man, did they stink it up this past weekend. 26-9 to the division rivalry, the Atlanta Falcons. Now sitting at 7-2, still on top the NFC South, but it's that tough stretch of the schedule. 4 NFC South games in a row within 18 days. They got the Bucks coming up next in Tampa. They're playing some pretty good football right now. Bruce Arians has Jameis Winston in that offense really firing on all the cylinders. They have some talent. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, especially with Marshawn Lattimore struggling with those hamstrings. We all know he had hamstring problems all of his career in Ohio State. Hopefully he'll be back. Alvin Kamara only had 4 carries against the Falcons. Got to bump that number up. Even though Latavius Murray has done a great job, Alvin Kamara is the money man. AK-41, he is the guy that's going to win you some football games outside of Drew Brees. So, hey, got to turn it around. It's only one game that did leg and egg, but that's it behind you. Time to look to the future. Both LSU and the Saints. For everybody here at Pelican, I want to thank Marty, everyone in the truck. Thank you for watching Tigers Roar. Tune in next week for a brand new episode. For the Bud Man, Body Sanji, I'm Jonathan Poche.